This story begins in Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, between the fertile Tigris and Euphrates rivers, where humanity's earliest civilizations first emerged. Ancient settlers discovered a bizarre natural phenomenon, a thick, black, pungent liquid naturally oozing from fractures deep inside the earth. Behaving entirely unlike water, no one understood what this dark substance was. But human curiosity quickly drove them to experiment. They soon unlocked an extraordinary property. Wherever this black substance was applied, water could no longer penetrate the surface. This marked petroleum's very first practical use. Sumerians coated their wooden boats with natural bitumen, creating completely waterproof vessels. With waterproof hulls, boats lasted significantly longer, enabling safer long-distance voyages and triggering a rapid boom in ancient river trade. Builders quickly adapted the pitch as mortar between clay bricks, forging fortified walls and monumental architecture far stronger than before. Even today, archaeologists unearth traces of this original bitumen in the ruins of Babylon, perfectly preserved across thousands of years. Over centuries, knowledge of this black substance reached ancient Egypt. Here, it took on a sacred, afterlife-preserving purpose.
Egyptians utilized natural bitumen in mummification resins. In later centuries, the Arabic word mumia, meaning bitumen, gave us the word mummy.
Thousands of miles east in China's Sichuan Basin, ancient engineers devised ingenious methods to extract this hidden underground energy. Using long, interconnected bamboo pipelines driven deep into the earth, they tapped underground oil and natural gas for heating and illumination. In ancient Persia, petroleum was weaponized. Warriors coated flaming arrows and siege weapons in crude oil, turning fortresses into blazing infernos. In ancient Greece, physicians used natural hydrocarbons to treat skin ailments, unwittingly harnessing the natural antimicrobial properties of raw petroleum. From medicine and warfare to architecture and trade, ancient civilizations exploited petroleum without understanding how it formed deep underground.
Contrary to popular myth, oil is not made of dinosaurs. It originated 300 to 400 million years ago from microscopic oceanic organisms.
When these microscopic creatures died, trillions of tons of organic matter sank to the seabed, buried beneath successive layers of sediment. Over hundreds of millions of years, relentless tectonic pressure pushed these organic deposits miles deep into the Earth's crust.
Deep within the Earth, intense subterranean heat and tectonic pressure gradually converted the buried organic matter into a waxy compound called kerogen.
Inside the geothermal oil window, between 140 and 250 degrees Fahrenheit, kerogen cracked into liquid crude oil and natural gas. Lighter than water, the crude oil migrated upward through porous stone until trapped beneath impermeable caprock, forming vast subterranean reservoirs. By the mid-19th century, the Industrial Revolution swept Europe and North America, causing urban populations to explode and factories to multiply. Cities depended heavily on whale oil for artificial lighting, but relentless hunting drove whale populations toward total collapse, skyrocketing fuel prices. In 1846, Canadian geologist Abraham Gesner distilled a revolutionary, clean-burning illuminating fuel from raw petroleum and coal, naming it kerosene. Kerosene proved vastly superior and safer for indoor lighting. Demand exploded, but humanity still lacked an efficient method to extract raw crude. In Titusville, Pennsylvania, an enterprising syndicate hired Edwin Drake to attempt the unthinkable, drilling deep into solid bedrock for oil. Facing mounting debt, mechanical failures, and widespread public mockery, Drake persisted with his steam-powered iron drill for months. On August 27, 1859, at a depth of nearly 70 feet, dark crude oil surged to the surface. Drake had struck black gold. Drake's breakthrough ignited the modern petroleum industry. Thousands of wildcatters rushed to western Pennsylvania, turning quiet farmland into speculative chaos. Amid the drilling frenzy, a young merchant named John D. Rockefeller realized true power lay not in unpredictable drilling, but in refining and distribution. In 1863, Rockefeller invested in his first Cleveland refinery, focusing on extreme operational efficiency, product consistency, and waste reduction. He negotiated secret freight rebates with railroad monopolies, undercutting competitors and shipping kerosene at prices rivals could never match. In 1870, Rockefeller incorporated the Standard Oil Company. He rapidly bought out and consolidated dozens of competing refineries across the nation. Within a decade, Standard Oil controlled 90% of all American oil refining, cementing Rockefeller as the wealthiest titan in modern history. Mounting public fury against monopolistic power led to a historic 1911 Supreme Court ruling ordering the mandatory dissolution of Standard Oil. The trust was broken into 34 independent entities, birthing modern energy giants like ExxonMobil and Chevron, while multiplying Rockefeller's personal wealth. Just as electric lighting threatened to make kerosene obsolete, a groundbreaking invention completely redefined the global demand for refined oil. In 1886, German engineer Carl Benz patented the first modern gasoline-powered automobile, transforming oil from a simple illuminant into mechanical horsepower. The internal combustion engine unlocked unprecedented kinetic power, turning gasoline, once discarded as useless refinery waste, into the world's most valuable fuel. In 1908, Henry Ford revolutionized manufacturing with the Model T, using the moving assembly line to make personal transportation widely accessible. As millions of automobiles flooded American roadways, petroleum became the indispensable lifeblood of personal mobility, global transportation, and modern industry. From trucks and tractors to diesel locomotives and maritime shipping fleets, the entire global trade infrastructure adapted to run exclusively on oil. By the early 20th century, the United States was the planet's top oil producer. But international power dynamics were shifting rapidly. Thousands of miles away, foreign prospectors turned their attention to the Middle East. Suspecting immense energy reserves lay beneath ancient deserts. In May 1908, a British drilling expedition struck a massive commercial oil reservoir in Persia, confirming vast petroleum riches across the region. The discovery prompted the British Empire to secure long-term Middle Eastern concessions, converting its naval fleet from coal to liquid petroleum. In Saudi Arabia, American geologists arrived in the 1930s, convinced vast subterranean basins lay beneath the sand. For 5 grueling years, drillers drilled multiple dry holes across the desert, facing relentless heat, high costs, and looming corporate cancellation. On March 3, 1938, Dammam Well No. 7 roared to life, at nearly 1,500 meters deep, revealing the largest petroleum basin on Earth. Further massive discoveries across Kuwait, Iraq, and the Persian Gulf established the Middle East as the ultimate epicenter of global energy reserves. Initially, Western corporate consortiums extracted these vast Middle Eastern oil fields under unequal concession agreements, retaining the vast majority of revenue. Determined to reclaim national sovereignty over their natural resources, 5 major exporting nations gathered in Baghdad in September 1960. Together, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, and Venezuela established Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, uniting their collective bargaining power. OPEC's formation permanently shifted the balance of power, setting the stage for a geopolitical showdown that would soon shake the world economy.
In October 1973, war erupted in the Middle East, transforming global oil from a commercial commodity into a high-stakes geopolitical weapon.
In response to Western support for Israel, Arab OPEC members instituted a strict oil embargo and slashed crude production targeting major economies.
Almost overnight, global oil prices quadrupled. The sudden supply shock exposed the extreme vulnerability of the industrialized Western world.
In the United States, gasoline shortages sparked immediate panic, creating endless queues stretching for miles outside suburban service stations. Gas stations across North America and Europe ran completely dry, shuttering operations and forcing governments to mandate strict fuel rationing measures. Surging energy costs rippled through the global supply chain, triggering runaway inflation, high unemployment, and years of economic stagflation. The energy crisis forced nations to diversify extraction, launching ultra-deep-water drilling in the turbulent North Sea and the Gulf of Mexico. Decades later, advanced horizontal drilling and hydraulic fracturing unlocked vast tight shale reserves, triggering yet another massive American energy boom.
Beyond transportation, petroleum became the bedrock of modern manufacturing, synthesizing plastics, medicines, fertilizers, and global electronics.
Every facet of modern global commerce, from transatlantic cargo shipping to modern agriculture, runs directly on refined petroleum derivatives. Looking back across 4,000 years, the trajectory of petroleum mirrors the astonishing trajectory of human civilization itself. What began as a mysterious pitch used by Mesopotamians to seal boats became the master catalyst for the modern industrialized world. It fueled the rise of the world's most dominant corporations, built unprecedented historical fortunes, and redefined global geopolitics. It propelled the machines that electrified cities, crossed oceans, and lifted millions into modern technological prosperity. Yet, this incredible reliance proved that tethering civilization to a finite subterranean resource creates immense systemic vulnerability. As humanity navigates the next major energy transition, the lessons of the petroleum age remain critically vital. A single drop of oil holds millions of years of Earth's ancient past and 4 centuries of relentless human ambition. The story of oil is not just the story of energy. It is the definitive story of how humanity engineered the modern world.